Hello everybody, Jade Hamilton here again. I'm going to read some more chapters of our story, but before I do, I'm going to do a tag. This one is hosted by the gang For the Love of Reborns. And it's called Dress Up Thursday. And the theme for this week is Valentine's. Now, I haven't got any traditional Valentine's stuff for my cubbies, but I've got Jack here. I'm cheating a little bit, so I apologise because I've used this for another thing, but it is such a gorgeous romper, and I look for any excuse to show it off, really. It's a blue zoo romper. It's 0 to 3 month size, and it's beautiful cotton, so it's very, very soft, and it's got a zebra on it with a faux fur mane and big black stripes all over him, and it's got big white stripes all over the romper itself, and under here, under Jack's bib, can I just lift your bib up, honey? It says in big letters, I love my daddy. Now, Jack's on a bit of a daddy is king, or rather my best friend, who he's decided is daddy is king at the moment. So I thought that it was very appropriate for that reason as well. If you haven't subscribed to For the Love of Reborns already, go and check them out. They're lovely, lovely ladies. They're full of fun. They're very welcoming. They really enjoy having their dolls around, and they radiate that enthusiasm to you when you watch their videos. So go and check them out and subscribe if you haven't already. Well, now on to our story. All copyright, as per all videos where I read, goes to Catherine Wilkins and Nosy Crow. I own absolutely nothing. Make yourself comfy, grab yourself a hot drink if you've got one, grab yourself an extra blanket if you're chilly, and make yourself nice and comfortable, and we'll begin. We're on, let's have a look. What chapter are we on? We're on chapter 10. So, chapter 10. How was school, Amy? Dad hands me a plate as I join my family at the kitchen table for dinner. Good! I made a new friend today, I reply, sitting down. I mean, that's not exactly what she said, but like officially, I'm pretty sure I have. I mean, I was described as an irony-free friend, so it must still count. Though I suppose that still might have been a sarcastic comment. I'm not always brilliant at spotting those, but I'm 80% sure I've made a new friend, in a way. We're having cauliflower cheese and garlic bread with a side salad, but everyone's eaten the garlic bread before I get home, so there's just cauliflower cheese left and loads of salad. But that's fine because I really like cauliflower cheese and salad, and I am a very positive person. But also, I do think they could have saved me one slice. I mean, would that have killed them? Mum has done an online shop, so we have milk and bread and fresh stuff again. And how's it going with the sketch writing? Mum heaps salad on my plate. Well, I suppose a tiny bit of progress had been made, I replied, tucking in. The boys were refusing to read my sketches, but Mrs. Haig said they have to read them now. Oh, well, that's good, says Dad. They're definitely going to reject them. I tell him, you don't know that, says Dad. Cross that bridge when you come to it. That's not your usual positive attitude. I definitely do know that, Dad. In fact, I'd be willing to bet money on it. How much? Kaz looks up from her lap where she's been unsubtly on her phone. £100 million, suggests Belle. Dad chuckles. That's a ludicrous amount of money. You're right. Better make it 200 million, I joke. Belle laughs. What about a tenner? Says Kaz. Why are you suddenly so interested in betting? Mum asks Kaz. I'm a businesswoman, says Kaz. I can spot an easy win. I bet you a tenner Amy is right about her sketches getting rejected by the boys that hate her. Not how I would have phrased it, but accurate. Hang on, you shouldn't be making money from my misfortune. I should. I protest. No one should be making money from anyone's misfortune, says Mum. I'm not betting you a tenner each. That's insane, says Dad. Ooh, I guess you don't believe in Amy the way you say you do, says Kaz sadly. Maybe Amy should just give up on her dreams and go back to fixing things. All right, a fiver, Dad interrupts. Of course I believe in Amy. I bet you both £5 that once those boys have read her brilliant sketches, they will get to be performed. Kaz and I shake hands with Dad. Poor Dad, who just doesn't understand people the way I do. Ugh, just realised I am betting against myself. That doesn't feel good. This is a terrible use of a Sunday morning, Sadie complains. We couldn't do this yesterday because it was raining and they like prioritising homework. I mean, what do they want from me? It's too windy, agrees May. And your phone keeps buffering and it's too small to see anyway, Sadie adds. Okay, I did think that making them do Tai Chi in the park with me on Sunday morning would go a bit better than this, but they're right. It's impossible to watch this instructional video on my phone. Okay, fine. I give up and pick up my phone from where it was propped against the tree. I guess we're not going to clear our minds or unlock any new potential here today. I kind of thought this might help them see the big picture and come back and help me gang up on the boys. I mean, help me convince the boys, Harry mainly, to give us a shot. It's hard on my own, and betting against myself is very much a temporary solution / short-term moneymaker. I will have to find another way to help them get in touch with their inner dreams. I don't see why their inner dreams have to be so different from mine when they seem to be enjoying it before. Hey, who wants to go for a run instead? I ask them. Maybe the endorphins will lead to a euphoric epiphany since we're already at the park. Or like some squats and lunges. Sadie and May exchange a curious look between each other. I'll ask, Sadie tells May. Then she addresses me. So, what's with you? What do you mean? Why are you trying to make us do all this stuff? Asks May. It's unusual. Even for you, adds Sadie. Yeah, you're the hockey enthusiast / choir nutter / wannabe comedy writer. May concurs. We hate physical exercise. Remember? Okay, first of all, I address them. It will be quicker from now on to just describe me as fit and a bit showbiz. And second of all, no one hates physical exercise. It's so much fun. Agree to disagree, replies Sadie. May, you used to love gymnastics. You were so good at it. What happened? I asked. May and Sadie exchange another look. Does she want me to explain puberty? May asks Sadie. Sadie chuckles. What's going on? Sadie returns to her original fury. Okay, I say. I feel like they might be annoyed by my answer though. Okay, I repeat, then it all just comes tumbling out. I thought if we did some meditation type stuff or physical exercise, it might take you out of yourself for a moment and give you a chance to reconsider helping me do the comedy show. Or at least, I know you said it wasn't your dream, it was mine. But you seem to be enjoying the writing process before. And I don't know if you really truly don't want to. It could maybe it could unlock your potential and figure out what your dreams are. I have so much that I'm passionate about, and I feel like you're missing out, and I just wanted to help. But obviously, it would be more convenient for me if you got on board with my dream. I finish a bit weakly. I just kind of monologued there. I'm not quite sure what I even said. It just came out. May and Sadie, exchange another look, but they don't look annoyed. Amy, begins May gently, that is really sweet and everything, but you don't have to fix us. Look, it's lovely that you're looking out for us, but not quite completely altruistically, as Sadie. But that level of interference is unnecessary, says May. We're perfectly happy as we are, says Sadie. Are you? I asked, surprised. I mean, sometimes at school you see not everyone loves school all the time. Not everyone has brilliant body confidence and all of that stuff. Sometimes we're shy and you're not. We're different from you, Amy, and that's all okay, says Sadie. It would be boring if we were all the same. May grins. We all grin. Okay, I say, waving a hand to show that I understand. We have a three-way group hug and then pull apart. That was a lovely little speech that Sadie made. I'm totally going to ignore it, though. I mean, who are they kidding? They could be much happier than this. I just have to get their confidence up. They basically said as much. So, what do you guys want to do now, then? I asked them. Oh, I know, says Sadie. Let's go to that cafe that gives you free orange juice if you order tea and toast. Yes, agrees May. Excellent suggestion. I think I just unlocked some potential already. Sadie grins. Too early to laugh at that yet, she says, as we start heading back towards the shops. No, that's fine, I chuckle, because they are a very positive person, and little do they know my plan is still on. Then I sing, celebrate good times, come on, as we walk until they shush me. When I finally get home at lunchtime on Sunday, the place smells amazing. Sure, it could look a bit cleaner, and the ironing board and laundry buffet are back in place, but it smells great. There's a roast in the oven, and my dad has literally baked fresh bread from scratch. It's got walnuts in it, he keeps telling anyone who'll listen. I'm going to make a soup from the chicken carcass for our dinner tonight. I'm batch cooking, and you can even freeze this bread. How good is that? That actually is really great, Dad. I have to, I have to say, I am impressed. We have an amazing family lunch with delicious roast potatoes. And when Belle accidentally spills juice, Mum doesn't jump up and shout, "Who has moved the kitchen roll again? Where are the wet wipes? Has no one put anything back? There's nothing sacred in this godforsaken house." She just turns to reach the tissues that were on the side, exactly where she expected them to be. It was almost eerie, but like good eerie, I guess. I wonder if that would be a good sketch. The eeriness of calm, to me, is surely most people's normal. Not spooky. Maybe it could be, oh, idea! Ghosts making a disorganized family more organized. Instead of throwing stuff and breaking it to scare everyone, they can't stand the discord. So they're constantly returning missing keys and stopping doors from slamming. Maybe they write in steam in the mirror, "Don't forget karate is cancelled," or "You're doing great," with a smiley face instead of "get out" or whatever. Not sure how I'd show any of that in a sketch. String making the keys float? Kuroko? Okay, needs more thought. But I have so many ideas again. What about a fashion show meets The Floor is Lava, where either side of the runway is lava and no one has thought it through? What about a crash in the mall for adults so the teenagers can leave their parents safely playing Candy Crush on their phones and shop for new shoes unimpeded by their parents whining about their low blood sugar? What about Willy Wonka style golden tickets for a mysterious factory that makes spray cheese? I can't wait to write up my new sketches before I go to bed. I love this. Chapter 11. So, yeah, they're just not good enough. Max hands me back my sketches at the next after school rehearsal. Entirely predictable. Though I have just made £5. Do you have any more in-depth feedback than that? I query. Just not very funny, I guess. Really? They didn't make you laugh at all? Not even a little bit, says Harry. So I guess that's that. Not quite, I say. Here, I wrote some more. Hopefully these will be better. I hand him my new badge. He shakes his head, smiling, then reluctantly takes them from me. Okay, can't wait to read them. Right, Freddie tries to call order. Mrs. Haig is staring out of the hall window, holding a cup of tea, wistfully watching the rest of the staff drive away. Off you go, Harry whispers and does a dismissive gesture to me. Haven't you got songs to practice? So we're going to workshop some of the sketches now. Freddie is really trying to project his voice. He's getting better, I think, but he's still bright red. Mrs. Haig turns and gives him the thumbs up, then goes back to looking out of the window. She morosely sips her tea. These sketches have already been cast, Freddie continues. We're just doing read-throughs to see what works. But this is an open process, so anyone is welcome to watch and give feedback. But if you want to get on with practicing other stuff, that's fine too. I guess I can stay then, I whisper to Harry, who fat. Who frowns. Okay. This scene takes place in a classroom, says Freddie. And remember, Max is a monster. Huh, yeah, I say. They give me evils and then begin. The sketch lasts 3 minutes and gets mild titters from the people standing around watching. It's mainly about someone farting in a lesson and everyone blames Anil, even though the monster is saying things like, I ate too much broccoli and human bones last night. Max does an amusing, deep monster voice to aid this impression. They have a fart noise on an app to assist them. I mean, I like farts as much as the next person, but they've really gone all in on the fart jokes. There isn't much other stuff at all. Though I do think it's amusing to have someone dressed as a monster, but never reference it until the end. Not that Max is currently dressed as a monster. Everyone claps. I make the motion of clapping, but really gently, so my hands don't make any noise. The next 2 sketches also lean quite heavily on fart-based humour. They're really making use of that app. They move on to the discussion portion of this little workshop. Everybody sits down and, in my view, slightly pretentiously, sips some bottled water. The boys start making suggestions to each other of what would be the funniest noises to make when one has smelled a disgusting fart smell. Harry is getting lots of feedback on whether it's funnier to start his line, "Oh, Nell, come on, what did you eat?" Start high and then go down low, or start low and then go up high. They literally debate this for almost 5 minutes. That's longer than the actual sketch. Harry practices each version. I try to join in and say I think it would be funniest if he starts high, then goes low, then goes high again. But they keep talking over me, and it's really hard to find a good gap to get a word in edgeways. Also, I've noticed that when they act, fart smell and cover their mouths and nose with their sleeves, it's actually a bit tricky to hear their next words. I really want to say this because I feel like it would be a valid contribution, and I do still really want to contribute to the creative process. I try to wait for a pause, but there isn't one. I start a few more times, but I am constantly talked over. It's like I'm not even there. And Neil looks at me. Has he clocked that this is happening? Would he even care if he did? He used to be my actual friend. I decide to go for it and start talking anyway, but I'm interrupted. Hey, I say again more loudly. Hey, I've noticed that. Hey, I've noticed that. Hey, I have something to say. I've noticed that. Yeah, thanks. This is really funny, Harry tells Max. There's a lull. There's an actual lull. This is my moment. Hey, I've noticed that. I begin. Oh, while I remember, Freddie just talks right across me. Although it's funny when to cover your mouth and nose with your hand, it can make it hard for the audience to hear your next words. So make sure you don't block yourselves. Yeah, good point. Thanks, says Harry. Max nods. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I think Amy had something to say, says Anil. Everyone looks at me. Ugh, timing is everything. Thanks, Anil. But actually, that is what I was going to say about the sleeves blocking. Sure, it was. Harry rolls his eyes. Great contribution. I had some thoughts about the what did you eat line too, I offer. Well, we've done that now, says Harry. Okay, cool. So what happens now? Who's in the next batch of sketches? What next batch? Says Max. That's all we have so far, says Harry. Oh, I say. Well, where are the girls' parts? What? Says Harry. What girls' parts? Says Max. Well, exactly, I say. You haven't really written any parts for girls, with actual lines. That doesn't seem to be fair. When half the people here are girls who might want to. Nope! Harry waves a hand dismissively. Stop causing trouble, Amy. In case you haven't noticed, we already have one part for a girl. So your point doesn't even make sense. What, Mary? I say, glancing at a girl called Mary, who's been sitting here serenely. Oh, hang on. Oh, blimey heck, I've gone the wrong way. But Mary doesn't have any lines. She just comes in at the end of one of your sketches and screams. And she does it very well, says Max. Mary smiles timidly and nods. Mary is fine with it, says Harry crossly. What's your problem? Why can't you mind your own business? This is my business. It's supposed to be an open production at every level. Oh, here we go, says Harry. I'm sorry your sketches aren't good enough, Amy, but maybe it's time to drop it. Everyone's happy apart from you. The girls are happy off doing singing and dancing stuff. Only 'cause you made them, I counter. They're happy with that, insists Harry. Are they? Have you actually asked them? We don't have time for this. Harry now addresses Freddie. I actually think Amy's being too disruptive. Freddie turns to me. I'm simply asking questions, I state. Why are you guys so threatened by that? Well, it's not really the time for questions, stammers Freddie, looking weirdly guilty. Yeah, this isn't question time, Harry smirks. Max says to me, why do you even want to be in our sketches? Surely it's boring for you and more fun singing? We're just some guys horsing around. He shrugs apologetically. Sorry, I keep losing my place. Sure, some guys horsing around who've stolen the means of production. I want to say this out loud, but I know I can't because it sounds wrong. I feel like I don't quite have the right vocabulary to describe what I feel is happening to me. Because they're not silly little sketches. Not to me, and not to them. They're the pinnacle of some kind of creative outlet that isn't officially important, but is still somehow important. It's disingenuous and insincere of them to pretend the sketches don't matter when they've fought so hard to control them and keep me out. And I don't just want to be in them, though I do. I want to write my own, which I think are good, and I should be allowed to, and have them critiqued fairly in an open process. It's not supposed to be just some guys horsing around. It's supposed to be me horsing around. And anyone that wants to. Why are they so obsessed that I have to do singing? Do they really think singing is for girls and comedy writing is for boys? What if boys want to sing? I think back to when Harry accused me of wanting to write about periods and shopping. Is this just about me being a girl? And if so, what exactly am I supposed to do about that? Yeah, Harry folds his arms smugly, bolstered by his friends siding with him against me. Can't you tell you're not wanted? Why don't you just stay in your lane? Ha! Please, I said, standing up, outraged. If I only stayed where I was wanted, I'd never get to go anywhere good. That told him. I storm off. It's so weird. I'm officially so angry, and I'm definitely in the right. But part of me just wants to cry right now. What's that about? I go and sit down near Lexi without saying anything. You're not going to yell some more, are you? She asked me skeptically. She's tuning a guitar. No, I say in a small voice. Ah, are you sad? I can't tell if she's mocking me. No, I reply, still looking down. It's okay to be sad. Harry can be a bit of a wazzock, I supply. Yeah, she grins. Let's go with that. He's a complete and utter total wazzock. Well, Miss Socrates, comments Lexi, does that mean you've lost the debate? Hey! I turn to face her, properly amazed. Are you citing that Socrates quote back at me? Yes, she smiles. You've turned to slander. Things must be bad. You listened to me? Well, you say it a lot. It wasn't exactly hard to memorize. I have lost the debate. I realise it sucks. No wonder everyone who loses debates is so angry and full of insults all the time. But the debate was rigged. Lexi chuckles. Everything is rigged. No, it isn't, I counter automatically. Do you think who you are and where you come from doesn't affect what kind of justice you get in the world? asked Lexi. What race? Rich and poor? Etc., etc. You know, any crime that's punishable by a fine basically just means legal for rich people. Whoa! Lexi is blowing my brains a bit right now. But that's not right, I say. Correct. We can't just accept that. We have to fight it. You're kind of fun to have around, says Lexi, patronising me again. However, I've gone from sad to fired up again in the space of seconds. Lexi is energising, even if that wasn't her intention. Well, I'm going to fight this sketch-based injustice and then world injustice when I leave school, I tell her. Totes adorbs. She goes back to guitar tuning and doesn't look up from it this time. I'm going to write some amazing comedy, some edgy comedy. What do you know about edgy comedy, choir girl? She looks up and back up at me, amused. All sorts, I retort. You'll see. You'll all see. I add grandly. Cool, says Lexi, not bothered by my vaguely threatening tone. Wanna practice? I'm in tune now. Yeah, fine, I say resignedly. But tomorrow is another day. And the day after that. Well, I have a really good feeling about that one. Okay, go. Lexi snaps back to my current reality. We practice Adele again, and then this pop star that Lexi claims to hate, but still somehow knows the chords to. But if you don't like Tony Gala, how come you know her music? I know that song. It's got like 3 chords. It's one of the easiest ones to learn when you start out, she explains. It sucks. Wah, wah, wah. My heart. My heart. Lexi does an unkind impression of Tony singing about her broken heart. It's pretty funny, and I chuckle. Of course, you did it very well, she says, snapping back into her normal self. You're really funny, Lexi. I know, babe. She patronises me. You've given me an idea. Why don't we have a little fun with the lyrics? I'm listening. Like, make it rude. Change heart to fart, or at least you know how mine's is fart. Edgy, says Lexi sarcastically, but more like better. I struggle to explain. You know what I mean. You want to write a parody song with me? Yeah. Hmm. Lexi surveys me slightly cartoonishly. Okay, I'm in, she declares. But if it's terrible, we're not going to perform it or anything. Yeah, no, obviously. Let's just do it for us for now, to see what we find funny. I agree. And we do. It's actually really fun. Chapter 12. Mum! I look up from my homework on the kitchen table at my mum, who's typing furiously on the laptop opposite me. Hmm? She responds, distracted, still typing. We had fish pie for dinner. Not too shabby. Dad and Belle are watching The Simpsons in the living room. Kaz is in her room. Mum and I are working. Nothing. I go back to my homework. I don't want to bother. It probably sounds stupid. What? Mum looks up. I have her attention now. Might as well. Well, how do you know if something's sexist? Like in films or TV? How do they know if something sexist is happening in stuff? Mum glances back at her computer and types one more thing. Well, there's a thing called the Bechdel test, she offers, looking back at me. And it's one of the ways of measuring the representation of women in fiction, explains Mum. To pass the Bechdel test, there needs to be two female characters who talk to each other about something other than a man. And they have to have names. They can't just be waitress in the script or whatever. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. Thanks, I say. How is Google it, darling? I'm busy, says Mum, going back to her typing. Honestly, they're not listening to me at all, I tell Sadie and Maid at lunch as we sit in the rowdy school canteen. Yeah, see, this is why we left, says May, and why we don't join in with group activities. Everyone is idiots. Sadie adds unsympathetically. They don't even feel remotely bad for abandoning me. And the thing is, their sketches don't even pass the Bechdel test. I drop my new brilliant knowledge as if I haven't only just learned it, and wait for the fun explosion of their impressed faces. Are we supposed to know what that is? Asked Sadie. Anyone serious about film and contemporary culture should really know. I say. I know what it is, says May. A film has to have two named female characters talk to each other about something other than a man. I nod. Yes, created by Alison Bechdel in a cartoon in 1985. I recite. Oh, right, fine, sure. Sadie nods. I've probably read about that and just forgotten. Ha! I knew something Sadie didn't know first. Must treasure feeling of superiority. Actually, that's not kind, is it? Anyway, I mean, it's not a shock that a bunch of sketches by. It's surely not a shock that a bunch of sketches by some pubescent boys have failed that test, says May. Sadie chuckles. I was hoping for advice. I was hoping for advice, I say. What can I do? Then I turn my question into that old cause song for good measure. What can I do to make them listen? May and Sadie shake their heads at me, chuckling, but May is a tiny bit. Does it prove they're being sexist? Shall I tell them they failed the Bechdel test? A bunch of Year 11 boys near us in the canteen. A load of Year 11 boys bundled near us in the canteen, and Sadie lifts her drink up in case our table gets bumped. It doesn't, though, and a teacher yells at the boys. I recognise one of them as Anil's older brother, Tavish. The the bundle disperses and I see Neil and another boy join the lunch queue. Tavish circles back round and trips Neil up and falls flat on his face, and people nearby laugh as he scrambles to his feet. "My brother, ladies and gentlemen," shouts Tavish. "What a loser!" A few more people turn and laugh. Anil just ignores him and pretends nothing's happening. Eventually, a teacher moves Anil's brother along. Harry and his gang have added one extra girl to their ranks. Sally Kellerman. She's nice, I guess. Doesn't say much. Is this progress? Should I mention the Bechdel test? Okay, says Freddie. Let's rehearse. I guess we're starting with... Wait, hang on. He checks his notes. Oh, Harry, Sally asks while we're waiting. I haven't had a chance to read your sketch yet. Harry cuts across her. Start with the machine gun one, he instructs Freddie. They workshop some new sketches. People chuckle and clap. They all talk at once about how it could be better. They barely listen to each other, and I struggle to get a word in at all. Mrs. Haig comes over, not to tell them to listen to each other and me, but to complain about something written on a piece of paper. What is this? She addresses Freddie, but everyone stops to... What is this? She addresses Freddie, but everyone stops the discussion to listen. That's the list of props and costumes you asked for. Freddie looks slightly nervous. Ha! Miss Haig scoffs. For 4 sketches? Maybe in a dream world. Do you think we have some kind of budget for this? Freddie appears to be unsure if this is a rhetorical question. Well, Miss Haig helps him out. Long story short, we don't. If I have to bring my own pens in from home. The school is certainly not splashing out on. She squints at the paper. A monster costume. Max and Harry actually gasp. The thing is, miss, Freddie says, that's actually a really integral part of that sketch. I don't care, says Mrs. Haig. You either have to rewrite it or do it yourselves, cheaply. Right, I am a monster on him for all I care, but we have no money for such frivolities. Now please make me a new list with stuff the drama department actually already have. What does the drama department have? Asked Freddie. Too many of my pens, snaps Mrs. Haig, and she flounces off again. Everyone is subdued for a moment. Would it be funny if I wore a top saying, I am a monster? Max threatened. No, it'll look terrible, said Harry crossly. The whole point was to have a state-of-the-art monster costume. Anything cheap will completely undermine it. Honestly, how pretentious is Harry? I just about managed not to scoff out loud. Everyone starts talking again. Harry starts accusing Freddie of not sticking up for them enough. Freddie doesn't understand what he could have done differently. Then suddenly I have a great idea. I know! You could use a monster onesie, I say. No one listens. Almost no one. Oh, sorry, I keep losing my place again. I said, I know, I raised my voice. You could use a monster onesie, Max shouts over me. Everyone stops talking. Hey, that's actually a really good idea, Max, says Harry. What? It was my idea. Mine. That's what I just said, I yell indignantly. Amy, what a surprise. Harry rolls his eyes. I suppose it's just a coincidence that no one heard you say it, but everyone heard Max say it. I look at Max, incensed, but he looks away and won't meet my eye. I heard her say it, says Sally quietly. What? Snaps Harry. I heard her say it, Sally says. Sally repeats, louder. She said it, and then 1 second later, Max said it. Oh, I guess maybe my subconscious heard Amy say it, offers Max. But she talks quietly. Okay, fine. Harry tries to regain order. Well done, Amy and Max together. He rolls his eyes again. It's like he thinks he's doing me this huge favour, when actually it is I who have saved his stupid sketch from the cutting room floor. I glance at Sally, and she gives me a tiny smile. I try to thank her with my eyes. I wonder if this small act of solidarity will get her sacked from sketches. I wonder if this is why they don't want more chicks around. Look, Amy, says Harry, this is a collaborative process, okay? It doesn't always matter who says what. It's about building something as a whole. I think you need to be a bit more of a team player. Wow. Just wow. He has managed to use my helpful contribution as a way to batter me. I think I would be impressed if I wasn't so battered. I blink at him, genuinely a bit confused. But great shout, he addresses Max as if it had really been Max's idea as if it really had been Max's idea all along. Onesies are pretty cheap, but it won't look too cheap, and it will be clear what you meant to be. They high five. They actually high five. That was my high five, rightfully. Not that I want to high five either of those horrible snakes. But come on. Max gets a high five for stealing. and I get castigated for an original thought. No money. Still money, though, Max says. I'm broke. I'll ask my dad, says Harry. He was really impressed when I told him I was basically running this show. He wants me to have killer instinct like him. So, I'll be able to make a withdrawal from the bank of Mum and Dad. He does a voice and makes a face in like this is in some way charming. Ugh, well, of course he's rich. I feel an overwhelming urge to write an angry song about how corrupt the system is with Lexi. Then I grin about how funny she would find me suggesting that. Something funny? Harry queries, looking annoyed. Yeah, all my sketches, I say. When can they be cast and practised? I don't know if it's my imagination, but I think Anil stifles a laugh. I look at him quizzically. We're a bit busy here, Amy, says Harry. Cool. So when? I raise my voice. Geez, you're so loud, complains Max, rubbing his ear theatrically. Oh, am I retort loudly. Because a moment ago, when you accidentally stole my idea, you said I was too quiet. So which am I? Seems a bit contradictory. I'm getting mixed messages here. You're getting one message, says Harry. We're busy. And I don't think Mrs. Haig is in any mood to entertain your nonsense today either. Maybe go and practice your lovely singing, eh? Okay, sure. And you're welcome, by the way. I do a fake smile and then head over to Lexi. Chapter 13. I walk past Mariella twirling with Steve Taylor. They're always twirling these days. They look so happy and lost in what they're doing. That's what I wanted to get out of this. That sweet feeling of accomplishment and joy. I don't realise straight away, but Anil follows me and then bumps into me when I stop. Lexi looks up and then bumps into me when I stop. Lexi looks up, from tuning her guitar at the side of the hall and chuckles at our antics. Oh, hey, sorry, I say. Sorry, he replies. And about them. He shuffles awkwardly. Well, thanks, I guess. I suppose I should be playing. What does what does a nil even want? Uh-oh. Trouble in Bro Paradise? Lexi asked dryly. They're just, I don't know. He trails off for a moment. I don't know why they think all your ideas are rubbish. I always loved messing about, writing comedy with you. And I've read the sketches you've been submitting, and I really like them. I genuinely laughed out loud, reading them. I think they're really funny and what? What? Wow, thanks. I'm flummoxed. Wait, did you say any of this? for them. Anil pauses, visibly frightened. I'm gonna go with of course not, supplies Lexi. I mean, Anil falters. Yeah, no, I guess I didn't. But maybe if you'd stuck up for me, they'd give me a go. It's not as simple as that. Oh, it isn't. Lexi leans on an elbow casually on her knee, clearly enjoying herself. She looks like she wishes she had popcorn. They don't like them, explains Anil. They say they're terrible. But I think they don't want. He pauses. They think you'll take over. But whatever gave them that idea? I cry. Lexi and Anil stared deadpan at me. Okay, fair enough. I know I have a certain reputation in some areas, but I'm just enthusiastic, and I'm almost always right. But I say, how can a person advocate for themselves without a takeover? It's a catch-22. Yeah, yeah, says uncertainly. And also, they've taken over, I exclaim. What would be so bad if I did take over? They should be sharing everything properly. I'd make everyone share nicely if I know you think you're helping your cause. I know you think you're helping your cause, but you're not. Lexi cuts me off. And I thought we said no boring yelling. She interrupts me again. I didn't agree to that, I say. Well, it's a new red line if you want to play with me. Fine, I sigh. So what have you guys been up to practicing over here? Asked Neil. Anything I know? Kind of, I I reply. Lexi and I exchange a coy look. Can I hear it? He asks. I stare at Lexi, unsure. She's the one with all the red lines and rules. Can he? I ask. It's up to you, Lexi. Lexi appears to consider this seriously, and then says casually, "Sure, why not?" We pay Anil our new version of What the Heart Wants by Tony Gala, which is now called What the Fart Wants. I sing it in the same dramatically heartfelt way that Tony sings it, like I'm really in existential pain, which I think contrasts nicely with the lyrics. Because of your fart, I sing the whispery intro before the verse start properly. My eyes are watering. I'm tearing up again. Oh dear. I'm tearing up again. Anil already chuckles. You are gone and this is all. You are gone and this is all that's left. You took your love and now I am bereft. How could you? Mhm. All that's left of you is this awful stink. Is this what your fart wants? What the fart wants? I can't stop trying. Why did you stop trying? And I can't sleep because of this breathing. Do you miss me now you're gone? I'm crying and singing in this sad, sad poem. I wish you happiness and hope you're well. But how could you leave me under the sky now? Is this what your heart wants? What the fart wants? I can't stop crying. Why did you stop crying? And I can't sleep because of this rain. I can't stop crying if I'm never crying. But it's what the fart wants. What the fart wants. Anil laughs and claps at the end. That's brilliant, he says, impressed. You have to do that in the show. We don't have to do anything, says Lexi frankly. Says Lexi frankly, I'm so full of pride and happiness that it takes me a second to work out what Lexi has said. Oh, but Anil really likes it, I say. Yeah, so we didn't want to play it in public if it was terrible, but it clearly isn't. Anil laughed. I don't care, says Lexi airily. Unlike you, I'm a serious musician. I'm still not sure I want to play it in front of everyone. Why? Why? Because it's embarrassing. One reason among many. But yeah, let's go with that, says Lexi. I thought Lexi was too aloof to get embarrassed by anything. Maybe it's more that she hates being told what to do, or maybe she's aloof to avoid being embarrassed. Well, I only want to do it if you really want to anyway. I realise this is true as I say it. It wouldn't be fun otherwise. Good, cool, says Lexi. I'll think about it. Not to go on about it, I say then, but this is a good example of me not taking over and letting my friend Lexi decide. I didn't say we were friends. I didn't say we were friends, Lexi interjects. Okay, ouch. Colleague, then? I offer. Co-collaborator? Actually, the point is, I don't take over. Actually, I think that's partly an excuse. O'Neill confesses then. Harry thinks that you hit it on purpose with the pinata bat, and he's kind of a vengeful person. Plus, him and Max really fancy themselves as comedians. They've got a bit mad with the power. They keep got a bit mad with power. They keep rejecting my sketches too. Really? I say, but you're really funny. And you've never accidentally, it was an accident, hit anyone with a bat. Anil chuckles. I wonder if I'm not so good on my own. Maybe my sketches aren't good. He sighs. It was easier with you when we wrote stuff together. Remember our spoof radio show? Of course I remember. Get ready for the news, I quote. News so young it can't imagine a world without iPads. News so young it's never used a landline to call someone or paid to listen to music. We were spoofing how some TV stuff always tries to target youth things to our age group. Yes, Anil grinned. That was it. His smile fades wistfully. That was fun. Is he surprised to discover a memory of enjoying himself with me? He's the one who left. Or at least he was suddenly too busy to hang out with me. Sadie and May said he was ghosting me and I should just leave it. So I did. Well, if you don't want to be collaborative again, Neil kind of just leaves that hanging. Huh, that's an interesting turn of events. On the other hand, I should totally be all, well, I'm very busy, Mr. Too Busy Ghosting, or whatever, but that's not really my style. And on the other hand, I do like writing with other people, and Sadie and May are still refusing to help me. Oh, that's cute, says Lexi. You could help each other. You reckon? I surveyed Lexi. It seems out of character for her to get involved in what she usually deems pointless drama. But she seems genuinely a bit invested in this. Or maybe she just likes stirring the pot and is annoyed with Harry too. With Harry too. Sure, she does comedy raised eyebrows. You thinking what I'm thinking? Oh, says Anil. You mean submit Amy's sketches under my name? Actually, no. I wasn't going to suggest you write together. I was going to suggest you write together. Hadn't got as far as pseudonyms. But wow, got a proper devious side to you there, Anil. Who knew? Real knack for subterfuge. We could do both. Trick them, I ponder carefully. We could do both, says Neil. We could write some sketches together and then submit them all under my name. Or could be courageous and put both your names, says Lexi. Well, we know they don't really like Amy, says Neil, so I'm not sure that could work. Yeah, you're right. Crazy, Lexi deadpans. What do you reckon, Amy? Neil asked. Well, what exactly is in it for Amy? Asked Lexi before I can respond. Sounds like a lot of work for no glory. Once the sketches are approved, we'll reveal the truth, says Anil, and she will be vindicated as a creative genius. I can't help. He smiles warmly at me. I can't help but grin back. Is this a good idea? I can't tell. I mean, Lexi's saying all the system is broken. Will this fix it? I'll think about it, I say finally. Cool. Anil smiles. So, Amy's going to write some sketches under Anil's name. Let's see if she gets any further. Do you think she will? Jack? You're not sure? I'm not sure either, but we'll see. We'll leave it there for today. Thank you everybody for watching, subscribing, commenting. It really makes my day when you do. And I'll see you soon with Jack for more tags, more stories, and more fun. Can you wave, Jack? Good boy. Cheerio, everybody.